Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Mine Mogul. How's everybody doing today? When last we left, last episode, we had just finished making our pipe rollers. More specifically, the gold pipe roller, and of course the iron pipe roller. But the gold one is the more important one. I'm fairly certain gold is slightly more valuable than copper, but I never bothered to look, and honestly, I'm not going to bother. Well, I could actually, just just 'cause I can. Just go replace one of these, toss it in there, wait for one of the bars to come through. Alrighty, roughly about 60 bucks. Alright, obviously the goal for today's episode is we are going to go and we are going to set up these 9 mines. Of course, first we need to go and actually get some stuff to set up that mine. And of course, when we do set up that mine, we're going to need to set up the shaker. So let's go and get our prep work all done. Alrighty. So, like I said, we're going to need at least 9... We're going to need at least 9 auto miners. But I'm just going to buy a whole crud ton because, well, I can. And while I'm here and I got a bit of cash, I might as well buy another rod excluder, buy some more blast furnace because now I'm realizing that I need them. Some more ore crushers just purely because I need them. And I'll toss another ore analyzer into my pocket just so I have one. Do I need one? Not really. In case you're wondering, yes, I am literally doing this because I'm curious about how much. Yes. So, yeah. Copper isn't really all that much more expensive than gold. I mean, copper is much less expensive than gold. And seeing as how I already brought it over here, I might as well just toss it in there because, like I said last episode, both the gold and the copper are going to be tossed over here, and then they're going to be put into their specific rolling machines. And since, like I said, I'm already here, I might as well just toss out the roller real quick. No sense not to. And with just a few more bits and bobbles, there. We've got the pipe roller all situated. Ah, but not quite. Something I almost forgot was the fact that we're going to need to go and turn them into plates first. Ah, right there. So, how are we going to do that? Simple. We're going to break out our handy dandy this machine. Ah, first time doing that. Huh. Well then, let's just take that and we'll see if we can't just put it on there. Yes, we can. Alright, cool. So, that's all said and done. Alright, so obviously, the copper's going to come straight through. It's going to be turned into plates on this rolling mill. Slide on down here into the plate, into the pipe roller, and then it's going to just come this way, and it's going to go up, just like the gold. And there. Of course, I do have to go and change it out so that there's no wall on one side, but that's fine. That is perfectly fine. Alright, so the pipes are all ready to rock and roll. Copper's ready to come on in. And realistically speaking, now that we've figured out that gold is more expensive than copper, I might just swap that one gold over there with copper, but we'll see how it goes. Alright, so we come on down here and we just begin filling this up with various machines. And there we are. Machines have been put down. Much like I did with gold, I'm going to go on up to where the copper is going to come in, and I'm going to set up my main copper area. And this is just going to basically be a copy of how I normally set up my own save files. Alrighty. And then we just go and we this up, this over, and we are done. At least with the smeltery setup and such. That should be all we need to actually, well, get the copper started and such. Now we just bring these on down. And yeah, now we just need to whip out our sorters. Ooh. But there's the slight problem. I put it a little bit too close. Yep, I put it a little bit too close. That's not really much of a problem. Honestly, I can fix it rather easily, actually. By doing something a little bit more along these lines. There. Now, all that I need to do is set up a merger right here. And that'll be that. The line going up towards the copper area is done. And of course, that's just for the copper line. The coal is going to go up this way. If I can get it set up right. There we go. And yeah, I think I'm going to do it that way. Apologies for that. So, now we have the coal coming into the line. And, as you can probably figure, I'm going to have the crushed coal go off to the side here. Do I need to do this? Not really. But I'm going to, just because I like a little bit of extra efficiency. Now the crushed coal will drop onto that side. And while I'm thinking about it, why don't we just whip out our handy-dandy blast furnace? And there. And we're not quite done yet, either. Whip out that. And, once again, not quite done yet. Because I'm going to do something I haven't done yet. As I said, you can turn junk ingots into, of course, rods. And the rods sell for kinda, sorta more than, you know, the ingots do, but not much. Well, I've tried to see if I can't make junk pipes before, because you need it for the coal mold. You need it for the master of slag achievement. You see right down here. You need junk pipes. Obviously, to make junk pipes, you need junk plates. And to make junk plates, you need, of course, well, junk ingots. I've tried to make plates before, but it's never really worked out. So I'm going to try it out this time, and luckily I happen to have a bit of coal right over here that I can go and mine up real quick. And I can see if maybe, just maybe, I was just being a little bit too... If maybe the way I was using it was bad. After all, the way I used it before was quite literally, I was not polishing it because I didn't see much of a point to do polishing. Well, what if we go and just try this out? See if maybe polishing will allow the plates to be made. If they don't, obviously, no harm, no foul. I'll just have to try to figure out a different way to make plates. Do a little bit of experimenting on my own time. But now, we see if... Nope. See, that's exactly what it does every time you try to put it through a roller mill. So, what I'm wondering is, how do you make junk plates? Obviously, I will go... Well, I can go and really quickly run and grab another pipe roller. Because maybe, just maybe, unlike the others, you don't need a rolling mill to make them. If that would be the case, then, well, cool. And I highly doubt they're going to be any less any less cheap than the rods and the normal ingots. I'm more than willing to bet that they're probably going to be pretty gosh darn, well, cheap. They're not going to be very profitable. More profitable than just the ingots on their own, but most likely they won't be anywhere close to being profitable as far as a person is reasonably concerned. So, that is what it is. Of course, the real problem is, if it works, how are we going to get the pipes onto the pipe network? Well, that we shall see. No. Okay. Okay. So, another thought process that I had was these rod extruders, or whatever you want to call them. While I was messing about with getting a rolling mill, I thought, well, alright, what if you need to go and turn them into the rods first, then send them through the rolling mill? Will that change it up? Will that make it slightly more of the case? Well, let's see. Problem is setting it up so that it actually... I can just do that, but I don't want to. I really don't want to. Oh well. If this works, I'm going to have to go up anyways to put it on the pipe network, so I might as well. If this works. Of course, I'm not going to go crazy just yet. Well, we'll see. If this works like I'm kind of hoping it does, okay, put it in there, it comes out a rod, then the rod goes over here, and we see what happens. No. Rod does not work. Okay. So, that's something I'm going to have to work on, try to figure out what the heck we need to do in order to get the Master of Slag achievement. Because, as of right now, I have no idea how to get that Master of Slag achievement. Right now, I have no idea how to complete that. I don't know how to get the last of the... I don't know how to get the last of the... how to get any of the junk pipes. I'll do a little bit of testing, see if maybe it's... I don't know, something with putting the ores in directly or something along those lines. But for right now, that's what we're just going to add the rods that it'll be making, because of course we're going to make rods. Why else? Why wouldn't we? And that is all of this area set up and sorted. So, now, we need to add this stuff to the system. How are we going to do that? Well, that's pretty easy. We're going to come over here, and we're going to do this. Now, this one and all those ones down there, and possibly even that one, are going to go on this line right here. That's how those all are going to do. Whereas these three are going to go on this side of the line. So let's just really quickly go and work these on through. Yeah, we'll do it that way. Alrighty. Do that way, and do that way, and then there. And there. Now these top ones are all set up. And honestly speaking, if I wanted to, I could turn them on, and actually I think I'm gonna. Just because I can. At least specifically the coal I'm going to turn on, because there we go. Oop. Hey. Fine. I'll put you in there. Because I saw over here, there's another one. Slam dunk that one in. Okay. Make sure that none of them came through here. Okay. None did. Good. Alright. And that's those settled. So I can just turn these on. Oh. Whoops. Good thing I caught that before anything bad happened. So, I nearly did a massive boo-boo. This massive boo-boo was I nearly just sent all the gemstones directly into the crusher. I'm sure there's a few of you that were shouting that like, hey Alan, you're being an idiot. Well, thank you guys for shouting, but unfortunately, this is a video, not a stream. Don't worry, I'm fixing it. Okay, and how are we going to fix it? Simple. I'm just going to move it slightly over. Do it that way. And now, I will go and have the copper go off to the side. Like I said, I started to really like just doing that. And now all the gemstones will fall down here. Like I said, not a real good idea to get into that habit, but then again, for short drops like that, it shouldn't be too terribly bad. It shouldn't be too terribly bad. But now, we turn all this stuff on. And I grab the copper as soon as it comes out. I put it in here, Yes. So the gemstone should just keep going forward. That's how the gemstone should work. Copper should go off to the side, get crushed. If it's not already, and then it just snakes its way around and into the copper areas. And of course, the coal is doing pretty much the exact same thing. Coal's gonna just come up on this end with the crushed already just going to be going to the end of the line, while the I messed up again. Whereas the rubies are going to go up there and get smelted. Because I'm an idiot. You know, it's a good thing that I'm smart. Because then I wouldn't make mistakes like this. Oh well. Oh well, oh well, oh well. It is what it is. It is what it is. People make mistakes all the time. Okay. And so here we are. When the gemstones finally do eventually go, they will, of course, drop right into there. Now, when when the shaker is finished, and the rubies will go out the side once I grab my ruby from over here. Unless, of course, nope, don't have any rubies because I turned everything off. And of course, don't have any rubies because I didn't bother keeping any. Okay. Well, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I'll just have to remember to try to grab one. That's fine. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. So, I've gotten all of that turned on. Now is the more important time. Go and set up these down here. I've already got them set up. Okay, cool. These are all going to be more or less just, well, nothing special. They're all basically going to go on the same line. These ones down here and that one up there all going onto the same big line. And you know, if I was clever, I'd do it in reverse. If you heard that, don't worry about that. That was just my cat deciding she was going to try parkouring around her cat tree. And failing miserably because she's a kitten. And she's not very smart yet. Alrighty. And there. Now we just have the slopes coming down this way. And of course, we have these ones coming onto the line here, because we can. And there, we have it now all set up and all attached. So now we should just be able to go in here, turn on all the auto miners, and everything should be ready to rock and roll. The only thing I need to keep an eye out on is going up here and keeping an eye out for any rubies. Easy. But yeah, with this being said and done, the copper smelting area, the coal shaking area, has been completed. And as I said earlier, the copper pipes should be being made once everything's said and done. I'll go over and show you it if we get a ruby real quick, or once I notice that the copper's reaching over there really, really quickly. Whichever really comes first, honestly. And I know that it might have been a slightly smarter idea to have set it up so that the crushed coal was going out the side, but, what can I say? I can't really break my roots that easily. Besides, rubies aren't exactly that uncommon. And there. And just in time for the first couple of bits of copper to run on through. Perfect. Of course, the problem with these smart splitters is while they make sure everything is even, sometimes they make things a little too even. And there we have it. Our first copper pipe has been made, and it is now making its inaugural journey to the bin. Well, I think this is where I'm going to leave you all. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys had a good one. And don't forget to comment, like, and have yourselves a good day. Sayonara.